Hey guys, Languagehacker here, and today I'm going to tell you a bit about the Alliance and the Horde, because the Alterac Valley expansion has been announced, and you might be wondering which side you want to choose. So in this video, I'll explain to you a little bit about each of the races in the Alliance and the Horde, if you care about the lore, and give you an idea of who you might want to pick. Although, spoiler, the cards are both kind of good, so it doesn't really matter. You should pick what you think is cooler. Let's dive right in. I mean, both of these are powerful. That's the thing. This is coming down. So if you guys care about what card is better, you get both cards. So the card doesn't matter. I want you guys to understand that. They said in the video that after the event, you're going to be able to get both cards. Sorry, no. I think you unlock the second card after you complete the quest line. And the quest line shouldn't be difficult. And you get bonuses from doing the quest line anyways. So you get both. If you need one now, what kind of decks do you like playing, right? Vandar is better in slower mid-ranger, well, not mid-range, but slower decks, and Drekthar is more of an aggro deck. Both of these are viable, they're just in completely different decks, so you have to decide what kind of decks you want to play. If you don't care and you just want to know what faction's coolest, clearly the Alliance. Talk about all the races, so you guys understand who the Horde and Alliance are. Give you guys a bit of an overview, because I'm sure a lot of you guys don't actually. I mean, there's two factions, but do you guys understand who and who? Okay, let's crack open the WoW. All right, this is a scuffed WoW lesson, so you guys understand what Alliance and Horde are. All right, we'll start off with Alliance. Humans. Humans start off. Their main city is Stormwind City. Whatever noble virtues, values, whatnots. You got Varian, Anduin leading he's the leader of the humans, and I think the Alliance at this point too. His dad was Varian, who used to be part of there as well. Valera has some lore involved with this. You have the SI7 agency, or whatever you want to call it, as part of Stormwind, basically the ninjas. There was a storyline with Onyxia where you kind of do some stuff with Onyxia. Fuck, this is awful for video. It's okay. We'll have Raren cut like all of this out and just leave the good stuff in. Humans are vanilla. We'll skip that. I don't know if you guys care about that too much. Dwarves. We got Ironforge. It's a nice wintry city. You know what? I can't. There's too many things. Dwarves. There's Ironforge. Really cool. What do they normally do? Steve, help me out here. There's a royal bloodline of kings that you'll recognize from some of the Hearthstone portraits. Magni, Bronzebeard, the Bronzebeards. So Magni was a king, was one of the kings. Bran Bronzebeard is one of the brothers as well, but instead of being noble, and I mean he's still noble or whatever, he's part of the League of Explorers. I think you have Muradin as well. Actually, Magni died in WoW. Oh, that might be spoilers. Anyways, there's some cool stuff with dwarves as well. Night elves, you got. They're the elves. Well, they're some of the elves. Their hometown or like home city is Darnassus. Priestess of the Moon. You got Tyrande. Malfurion was a night elf as well. World Tree. So that their home. Okay. Well, that's complicated because the World Tree burned down. But their home like city was the World Tree basically. Or actually, no, it wasn't. It was on the world. It was on one of the World Trees. God, there's some WoW people in chat just clawing their eyes out at what I'm explaining right now, but it's been a while. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, elves, kind of cool, sure. Gnomes. Well, this is no Morlock. Gnomes are tiny people. Wow, she looks really mad. Gnomes have been known for engineering. They're very smart, technical, and they can craft some cool stuff. One of the nice memes was that you can make a gnome warlock. You know, gnome summons big demons. The leader is King Mechatork. They hang out in Ironforge because their old home city was kind of overrun by leper gnomes, which you'll notice from Hearthstone as the card leper gnome. Draenei are complicated. So Draenei are basically space goats that crash landed on Azeroth in one of their ships because they were being chased by. I'm looking for confirmation in chat, Steve. Anyways, they're literally aliens, but they're kind of cool. They're space goats basically. Prominent Draenei that you'll recognize. Prophet Valen is the leader of the Draenei. And Eridar is a whole other thing. But I'll try to identify notable people in history that kick W in Hearthstone that you recognize. And Prophet Valen is a Draenei. We've got a Worgen. So Worgen are Basically werewolves, quite frankly. And you'll see in the background, you see what the other side looks like. But they can go back and forth between human and wolf forms. Prominent people, again, Greymane. I don't remember their full backstory, but they have a curse. It's problematic. Sylvanas really screwed them over, or some, I don't know. There's bad blood there. But yeah, werewolves. And Pandaren. Pandaren actually are not Alliance. They're technically Alliance or Horde. And this actually isn't in Hearthstone yet. No, there are some Hearthstone stuff related to Pandarens. We have, what's his name? There is a Hearthstone character. I'm trying to remember the name. Aya, thank you. Yeah. I mean, Youthful Brewmaster, Ancient Brewmaster, Aya Blackpaw, Lore Master Cho, these are all Pandarens. But Pandarens can basically be either faction. So if you like being a panda, you can choose whatever you like. But that's the Alliance. Humans, Dwarves, Night Elves, Gnomes, Draenei, and Worgen. Although, no, we see some Worgen too. All right, let's talk about Horde. Horde, Orcs. So the classic old Warcraft thing was humans versus Orcs, right? And that's why you'll see at the top we have humans. Everyone recognizes those, and Orcs, we recognize those. A lot of prominent Orcs. We got Thrall, we got Sourfang, Grommash, Garrosh, Gul'dan. The list really just goes on and on. A lot of prominent Orcs in the history. So if you're identifying with those characters, Horde might be for you. There's a long history of Orcs generally being war chiefs. Not just and war chiefs of the whole war chief. I mean, like the leader of the whole horde, not just the one race. But that's changed kind of recently. We've had a few other people come in and out. And Sylvanas is the most recent war chief of the horde. But orcs are kind of that kind of thing. Forsaken are basically undead. They were actually led by Sylvanas, and are they still technically led by Sylvanas? Yeah. But they're called the Forsaken, I think, even though it says undead here. Actually, it says both, the Forsaken. Yeah, Sylvanas was a first. Well, actually, was Sylvanas technically a Forsaken? Because she was actually a Banshee. Sylvanas wasn't a Forsaken, but she was the leader. She counts. Yeah, she counts. Oh, I forgot to talk about some of the cities here. I actually don't remember the Worgen city. I don't remember the Pandaren. Well, the Pandaren city is kind of weird because they don't... Well, we don't have to talk about cities. It's fine. But basically, Orgrimmar is the orc. And you can see this in the background. Orgrimmar is like the main hub. The main city hub. We talked about the Forsaken. Taurens. Notable Taurens. Cairn Bloodhoof. Bane Bloodhoof. Guff is a Tauren as well. You recognize that from the Mercenaries. And I guess I could mention that Cariel is a human, and Tamsin was a human, but I think she's now Forsaken. Yeah, Taurens are pretty cool. Their main city was Thunderbluff. They're very attuned with the earth and nature and stuff like that, and clearly, like, druids are more so, but in general, that's kind of the Taurens, the thing. We got trolls. I actually don't remember a lot of the troll or lore. I think they also share Orgrimmar with the orcs because their home was taken over by something or other. And there's been a long history of weird troll enslavement by some false gods. A good example of this is Hakar, which you'll recognize from Hakar the Soul Flayer was one of the expansions in Hearthstone. He basically led a bunch of one of the troll tribes. Oldest race in Azeroth? Well, there you go. Notable trolls. Vol'jin, Zul'jin. Most of the Jins, really. The Loa was very... yeah, Loa's... Was the Loa? Yeah, the Loa was trolly, right? Rostakon's Rumble. Talanji as well. Oh, yeah, we did have Talanji in Hearthstone as well. You're right. Sen'jin Shieldmaster is a troll as well. Anyways. Blood Elves, these are actually, I think, used to be Night Elves, but led by Kel'Thas Sunstrider. You'll recognize KT, Kel'Thas from Hearthstone as well. He kind of led a branch of them off from the Night Elves, and then got them addicted to magic. And because of that, they've changed their name to, like, Blood Elves, because it's, like, magic is kind of their blood type of thing. Oh, they were high elves. Okay, they were high elves. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, Sylvanas was a high elf. Yeah, she was she was Ranger General. Okay, high elf. Sorry. Again, there's a lot of stuff to cover. I have no prep for this done at all, and this is all from memory, which clearly is failing me a little bit. I'm getting the main points though. Anyways, yeah, Blood Elves, high affinity for magic, led by Kilthoth, Sunstrider. Kind of a noble type race. They view themselves very highly. Their city, Silvermoon City, is basically just posh as fuck. So you could check that out. That's kind of cool. And finally, goblins. This is the kind of counterpart to gnomes in that they're also tiny and they're also very ingenious, good at crafting inventions and stuff. Again, notable engineers. There's the engineering in WoW was they had like two main sets of engineering: goblin engineering and gnome engineering, which is kind of funny. So that's the Horde. Yeah, you'll recognize time is money, friend. Gallywix, I think, runs the goblins. Trade Prince Gallywix here. That guy. Yeah, that's the Horde. So I've been playing Alliance for basically my whole life. I'm sure some of you have been playing Horde for your entire life. So if you have been playing WoW, you know, go with the same faction you have been. If you have no idea, then, you know, look at one of these races, figure out what you think is kind of cool, and then go with that. If we're talking about purely identifying what which card is better, they're both very strong. So it just depends on the kinds of decks you like playing. Drekthar for the Horde is better in aggressive style decks, and Vandar Stormpike is good in some slower decks that you can make some combos around. I think Drekthar is easier to make a deck around if you really care about that. But if you have no preference over the card or archetypes, pick whichever one you think is cooler. Thanks for watching, and catch you guys next time.